Greetings, welcome to Ross Report's headline at the time. Talking about ISIS and try to skim through it. I know the last video I got a little bit off track, so here we go. First of all, this group has been labeled, obviously largest, richest terrorist organization. They've been called by BBC Islamic State, which now Babylon is trying to go back on. They want to try to come with a better name for the group to more or less, show that they're on a particular side of the other, because they know that the American public is very skeptical. They already know the secret's out, that the CIA and all these camps like Camp Bucca existed to train these soldiers to fight against the interest that they see is not beneficiary towards them. In other words, Russia, Iran, Syria, and so on and so forth. Guys like Omar the Chechen, they were dispatched. They put out some media platforms promoting these groups as moderates early on. Of course, we heard the president say this group was JV, which he later on came back on, saying that he did not say, but obviously we clearly know he said. So, I mean, there's too many lies out there. It's a covert war. I've said it's a head against Iran only because it's the same thing where you have the banking, the world banking system, you have the international law. They want everybody on board. Iran's not on board, so it's a no-brainer. I mean, we don't really have to talk about that as much. What we have to focus on is this country. I wear this flag, as I mentioned in the video, for a reason. It's this country and all the other countries under siege. And the people that are ruling us, the ruling rulers, let's be honest, guys, they're not the best examples for us. They're just not. So it's a philosophical difference that's at stake. They don't want people to perceive Iran and other groups as being more holy, more honorable. The idea with all the media and everything we're seeing right now is this heathenism normalization. We see it with the new videos coming out. We see it with the ISIS, with the beheadings. We see it with all the video games and the movies. I mean, this is really coming out of the Pentagon. And these people that work in the military-industrial complex, they've got the information. They've got the knowledge, so to speak. And so they've already uncovered what kind of psychological results occur from the media content that we're absorbing. And so by allowing it and promoting it and being behind it, because if you trace a lot of the activity, the footprint of these workers in this revolving door, they're going in and out of these companies. I mean, they have all the secrets, they have all the trade secrets, they have all the technology, they have all the equipment, they have all the expertise, they have the network. And so they're designing these games, as I think other people have illustrated in many other videos, which unfortunately I haven't been able to watch, as I'm sure most other people haven't either. And thank you, by the way, for taking time to watch this video. I'm trying to cover as much as I can as shortly as possible to save everybody else's time, because I know what it's like to have time wasted. So you see the Pentagon's behind this promotion, this psychological, you can call it psychological warfare. And in doing so, we end up with a world of people that have no, it's like, and something goes down, I mean, like, who's going to stand up? Who's going to stand up? Everybody's going to run and hide. We don't have any heart. They've disheartened us. So what we need to do is gain back strength and gain back heart. It's part of a project that I'm personally working on, so that we can collectively come together, even as a small minority, because that's all we need, folks, is a small minority. You talk about the 1%, let's get 1% of truthers together, and let's get some things done. So U.S. Central Command, they're talking about their strikes. I guess there's been over 1,000 total strikes separated between Iraq and Syria. I think initially they first went right in, directly targeted Syria. Now they have the justification. Certainly you're going to see more targets in Syria although it's been split quite evenly up to this point. They say the U.S. is pursuing a non-strategy in Syria. The result was a strategic mess, allowing Assad's forces to step up attacks on other rebel groups, some sympathetic to Washington. Well, of course we know, and we reported on that. The whole ISIS thing, the very first report, when they said ISIS side with the side, I mean, it's like, you got to look at it from strategic perspective and understand that this group is broken up. They're not functioning the objective they were sent in to do. It's a mess, and it only benefited Assad. I mean, we all figured that out. The whole thing with oil prices going down, this is all about the war in Iraq. You know, when this first thing erupted, everybody said, oh, the oil price is going to go up, right? That was the big fear. They never went up. They spiked down. Now all of a sudden they say, oh, it's because of OPEC's releasing this. They're trying to cripple Russia and Iran and Venezuela. And it's true. But how much of that oil is coming out of the Middle East being stolen? They're plummeting Iraq right now. That's why the oil prices have come down. It's $60 a barrel right now. As I mentioned, Babylon changed plans about the name. You know, you got Hillary Clinton and people standing up saying they're not Islamic and they're not a state. The French, they call them Daesh. Maliki's trying to step back into the scene. He's not happy with the results still. He said he wants to claim the leadership of Shia. So we're already talking about a sectarian divide again, and maybe a civil war between the Maliki Shia and the new government that stepped in, that the Saudis are praising. There was an airstrike that was carried out by Iran. They say that translates into a blow to Iraqi Prime Minister Haidar Abadi. So apparently Maliki or Iran was behind this airstrike, and they used an old F-4 aircraft, one built in the 1960s, as more of a symbolic gesture. The way they perceived it, because Iran, they said, has much more sophisticated equipment. Why would they use this old aircraft and carry out this strike? And they say Iran has yet to reveal which ISIL posts it targeted. So apparently Iran hasn't given any information on them. Why should they? This is wartime. You know, the information we're seeing on the media it can't be true, because the Pentagon and the military is not going to, you know, tell people in a real-time basis what's going on the ground. Recently, Mr. Abadi fired 36 military commanders who served as Mr. al-Maliki and signed an oil distribution agreement with the Kurds. So there we go. So the Washington stepped in with the British imperialists. They've stepped in with the Sauds. They've taken over the Iraqi regime, and now they've got this group kind of as a menace. They say, were it not for international coalition, Baghdad would be now in the hands of ISIL. Were it not for Mr. Abadi, you know, the country would be fragmented and torn by civil war. Well, it sounds like civil war is about to erupt. So it sounds like that whole article is more or less, you know, a biased crap lie. And the fact is that it was Iran that it has, and with the Iraqi army that has kept these soldiers out of Baghdad, but with Iran's assistance, with Iran's immediate assistance. The U.S., if you look at where they're stationing their campaign, they said they wasn't going to put any troops on the ground, so we already know. They're not there protecting Baghdad. It's Iran that's protected Baghdad. This is a lie.